Hey everyone, welcome back to this next video in our series about building unshakable confidence in our homeschools. Just a reminder, the obstacles and the keys to confidence that we've discussed in this mini series are all available in my ebook, 5 Keys to Unshakable Confidence in Starting Your Homeschool. You can get your free download of that PDF at wiserhomeschool.com today. Now, we've been talking about keys that will help us so that we have that firm foundation of confidence that no matter what comes our way, it won't be shaken. We've already talked about the first 3 keys. Let's move on to the fourth. The fourth key is know that things will change, and that's a good thing. One mistake that parents make sometimes is thinking that if they put enough planning into everything up front, then everything will go exactly as planned and everything will stay right on track. Or that if they put enough research in up front, then whatever method they finally choose will be the thing that carries them through the whole time. That could happen, but you're probably going to hit some changes along the way. It's much more likely that you're going to have to change and shift and make adjustments as you go. Most likely the way you start out isn't the way you'll finish, especially, I'll add, if you're homeschooling multiple children. Let me give you an example from my own life. When we started homeschooling, we had 2 children, our 4-year-old and our almost 2-year-old. I was working from home for the most part, full time, and potty training one child, or about to be. I guess technically I was still changing diapers with one child while starting to homeschool another while working. So video curriculum is what saved the day for us. We did all video curriculum for our daughter there for the first few years. We had our 3rd child after just not even a year of homeschooling, and then a couple years after that had our 4th. So those few years were kind of hectic in some ways. I was either pregnant or nursing a baby or potty training a toddler while homeschooling children, while working either part-time or full-time. So a lot was going on. The way we started homeschooling was with all video curriculum. Well, we continued that when we started our 2nd child in school as well. We got him video curriculum. He was doing really well with it. Fast forward a couple of years, our 3rd child started school. You know what I wasn't ready for? I thought, I've already got 2 in school and they're cruising along. We're doing great. We've got the videos. What I wasn't ready for was the fact that my 3rd child had almost 0 interest in watching videos. In fact, one of our favorite stories, my dad especially loves this because my dad's a 3rd child too, and this happened with my 3rd child. One day I walked in after telling him to watch his videos, and then I had left the room for a moment. I came back in and I looked over and there was no sound coming from his device. And I said, Isaac, I told you to watch your video. And he must have been about 6 years old. He said, yeah, Mom, you said watch it. You didn't say I had to listen to it. So guess what? Things had to change. We learned very quickly that Isaac was not as motivated to learn school from video curriculum as the first 2 had been. That meant we had to make an adjustment. Now, because of our life situation, I was still working. There was still another child that came up after Isaac. There were still other obligations I had to tend to. I couldn't do a complete pivot away from video curriculum, but I had to do something to help him stay engaged with school because just doing videos was not going to be enough for him. So what we began to do that actually became a winning formula, not just for Isaac, but for the other children as well, is I allow each child to pick about 2 or 3 subjects a year that they want to do with videos, and then pick which ones they want to do with books. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going with a child-led approach to education. I have other thoughts about that. I'm still choosing what subjects they're doing each year, but I'm giving them input on which teachers they like to watch. There are certain ones, now that we've been in this curriculum for 11 years, there are certain ones that are their favorites. There are certain subjects that are their favorites. Some subjects are easier for them and it's easier to do without videos, and others need a little more help and instruction. So a lot of times I like to have those videos handy so that that burden doesn't fall only on me. So we've done a hybrid approach now where they do 2 or 3 subjects a year with videos and the rest without, and it's working really well. But if you had asked me 11 years ago in the beginning if we would do that, I would have said, oh no, videos are definitely the way to go. Even 9 years ago, I would have said, no, they're working great for our daughter. We're about to start our son. They're the way to go. Things have to change sometimes, but it's a good thing. Another example, you may spend hours upon hours planning out your year, laying out lesson plans, figuring out the timing of when you will accomplish each subject. That could still be subject to change. If you're someone who likes to be extremely scheduled, I applaud you, and you will probably have a ton of success in implementing that schedule in your homeschool. Just leave yourself some margin, and most of all, be prepared in your mindset that things may come up that cause you to get off course, but that it's easy to make those changes and adjust because you know who's in the driver's seat, going back to key number 2. So just remember that even though you may have the best plan in the beginning, or you may find something that works really well, things may change, and that shouldn't shake you off of your firm foundation of confidence. It did shake me a little bit when my third child all of a sudden wasn't responding to school the way the first two had. I had to change my MO. I had to figure out what was going to work. And to be honest, there are some days I still feel like I'm trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure out what works with this one and what works with that one. And now I've got 2 teenagers, so the whole dynamic of everything is a bit different than it was when I had 4 very, very young children. So things are going to change. It's okay. It's a good thing. Learn to embrace the change and learn how to use the change as a strength and not as a stumbling block. You're going to have a wonderfully successful homeschool as you build it on these 5 keys of unshakable confidence. I look forward to sharing the last one with you in the next video. I'll see you then.